All right, guys,
Okay.
we are going live right now. Give us just 1 second, and I am going to get started. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to Sister Souls Talk About It segment on the main radio. Make sure you tune in each and every Sunday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time so you're not missing out on anything that's very informative, right? So, what we're going to do right quick, I am going to play you guys a song real quick, and we're going to get started. I have a special guest that we're going to be going over some very important information. Power on. Let's get the Bluetooth so I don't have to connect the video, guys. I should have did this. I apologize, but here we go. Bluetooth connected. Let's get it.
Whoa check, whoa check.
Ja Bricks, new song, Whoa Check.
Whoa check, I need me a whoa check. I need a love. Need a whoa check, I don't need a dog. Need to know that her self-respect is worth more than some money. Safety sexual, you gotta have range. I only fuck with chick that look like me, you gotta love me. I'm like, where you plan that, shorty, where you plan that? Keep the money, you can show me where the land at. A mineral system to the gods, where your man at? She indigenous and really understand that. Intellectual, she love it when I preach. Little cutie with a booty, call us beauty and a teacher. Man respect when she hit the room, she ain't gotta speak. And she love being melanated, she ain't gotta bleach. Nah, if I like wine, baby girl, let's make a toast to you. I see you looking's only right that I'm approaching you. I comment on your intellect like I'm supposed to do. Why? That's probably cause I see the woke in you. Whoa check, I need me a whoa check. Whoa check, I need me a whoa check. Whoa check, I need me a whoa check. I need a love.
You talking about an organic and original. Yeah, a little short intro by Mr. Ja Bricks, Woke Chick. If you're interested in hearing a little bit more from him, make sure you guys go to YouTube and subscribe to Ja Bricks, JAHBRICKZ, Woke Chick. All right, we have a special guest today joining us, guys. And this young man is so bright and so intelligent, Mr. Jason Sims. He is going to be going over some information. I know you guys hear me talk a lot about like the H spot and the hidden spaces and things of that nature. Mr. Sims is actually going to go over no space and actually go into the descriptive terms and give you a lot of information on that. Jason, thanks so much for joining us, sweetheart. Thanks so much for joining us on main radio and on our YouTube today. Would you go ahead and introduce yourself, darling, and get right into your lesson that you wanted to display for us? And guys, keeping in mind, this is a very young gentleman, and just listen to the intelligence and make sure you are paying attention and taking notes of some of the things he's going to go over. Go right ahead, Jason.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. My name is Jason Sims, everybody. As you can see in the title of the video, and today I'll be explaining the properties of null space. Well, not necessarily the properties, but more of what's the building blocks in order to create a reality in null space, and the 4 properties of what you need to actually be existent within a reality as you're constructing it in null space. Okay, so first we're going to get into what null space actually is. So null space follows a simple formula, and what exists within null space is basically nothing. Now there is something in it that technically, well, it doesn't exist, but it's there. So basically you have this, and then right here would be so in that circle is null space, okay? And what you call this, and what these little dots right here are functions. Now, exactly what is a function? A function is what's inside of the soul, your spirit, and eventually your body. The function is basically a property that only can be in null space, but the function does not exist. So this would be necessarily the equation on how to explain null space. It isn't used with numbers. but mainly acoustics like on a guitar. So I'll make a chart right here. And you basically make a list from, excuse me, sorry about that, from A to C. So you can have 1A, 2A, 3A, A, C, A, B, A, 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 B, A, C, A. So right here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3 right there. So basically what you want to do is just do, so basically just do 3, 6, 18. Excuse me, sorry, but hold on. All you have to do is, but basically all you have to do is do a simple equation called multiplication. Do 3 times 6 equals 18. And right there, 18 is your magical number for will. So now we're going to move to this side. Exactly what is the function? Or per se, how do you know what a function does? Well, based on the chart to this side right here, this depicts the will of the function, or necessarily how it works. So AAA basically means all, sorry, hold on. Alternate, established, except. Or I'll just mark it as just AAA, but just understand that it means alternate, established, accept. So what does that exactly mean? An AAA is the first act of a function. So basically that depicts the motion of forward. ACA depicts the motion of diagonal up. ABA depicts the notion of right. I'm sorry. Okay. AAA at the bottom again, reversed. So now you stop here, you draw a line. This goes down. Since there's already an up. BAA depicts this notion right here, diagonal down. And CAA depicts this notion, right. Now, a function also abides by something called dimensions, basically a shape. Null space takes the shape of a circle. We know nothing exists in it, so what actually does the function do if it doesn't exist? The function follows this code. Follows this code right here. We don't know exactly where this code came from. All we know how to do is read it today. So first it starts as a circle, then it starts as a square. So each of these will start as a square. Now I want you to imagine these squares suddenly going 3D. So all these squares are now went from 2D to 3D. Now they're transforming into triangles, hexagons, basically any shape that you can think of. And it's doing this at 18 hertz. Okay, 18 hertz, the magical number for a function. So after that, once it goes through that speed and it goes through those multiple shapes, it creates a will pattern. Now, how would it do that? It moves in every single direction. So it moves like a zigzag. So allow me to erase this real quick. I think I had a faster method. Right? So it can move up, left. Oh, I'm sorry. I wrote that the wrong way. Sorry. So it goes up first, diagonal, right? Down, 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 down. Now, that kind of looks like, I think it's called a what? It's gone. So this takes this shape once it moves in all these directions. And here exists the function. This is the soul. And the soul is going through the shapes that this function is going through right here. Okay? So by doing that, it's expanding. This is its will. Right now, it's following this entire formula. Now, by evolutionizing, we can depict each side of this shape. Let's see. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. We know that the 8 is correspondent with this infinity sign because it takes on infinite amounts of shapes. We also know it corresponds with 18 because that's the property in speed that it follows. So A, and ACA are the ones that really work here. These down here, including ABA, which is still at the top, these down here, the function takes that and goes three-dimensional with it. So just imagine those lines right there going three-dimensional. Now, as it takes on this form, it follows that expanding law. So now it's giving off a stronger will, which is an action. And an action is depicted as an essence. So an essence is also depicted with a spirit. It has automatically housed itself in something called a spirit. Now, by doing this, how would it create a body if it's not in a womb, especially if it's in null space? This is where null space comes in. Okay, where's my By using the building blocks of null space, since null space doesn't exist, it uses its will. So by establishing this will, we'll write a circle again. This time we'll put a single function in the middle. It expands outward like a ripple effect. Now here's the thing though. Each will that it's pushing out only has one shape because each will that it pushes out is a singular will. So it could have this, I'm sorry, I kind of wrote that a bit too big. That's a triangle. Or it can have a whole hexagon in the center of it. So basically, like that, it's taking each will that it's establishing is taking out a different shape, and it's creating its own dimensional vibrational system, and then it takes on a 2D to a 3D, and it goes to 4D, 5D, and so on and so on and so on, and it's going on and on beyond each and every single dimension property. So by doing this, this function has housed itself within another self within another self. Now, null space is suddenly not becoming null space anymore because things are coming into existence by this function's action or will. Now, you have many other functions in null space creating the same will. This is where we get the term multiverse instead of parallel universes. Since you have multiple functions, you'll have multiple universes. We exist in a function right now that is actually projecting each will onto everything else. That's why you see plants, birds, bees, and all these other living things all abide by a function such as walking, talking, thinking, barking. Some of the things that we do, those are functions, but it also has a specific shape that it takes on as well. This is what this function is actually establishing. And by doing this, it's duplicating itself over and over again by expanding. So it's even duplicating people like you and me. Sometimes the things that we even perceive to be our own emotions wouldn't happen if it was like our thoughts or emotions or our actions. Anything that we say is from us, like our ideas, things like that. These are all specific functions that have already been performed by this singular function in the middle. The reason why we all look different from each other, though, is because the function, like I said before, takes on a different shape. So we will take on different singular shapes as well via components that we are fused with. We all follow a function every day. Our basic function, our most basic function is the F, F, F rule. So I basically call this food. Let's see. And the other one is the, I think you know what all that one means. All that one. So food. It as a mate, and the other one is shoot, I forgot the other one. But it's a scientific term. So basically, it just means to find, mate, and food. The F word and something. I should have remembered that. I'm sorry about that, but it means something. I'll actually look it up once I go into it.
Is it fair? You're not talking about the pheromones, brother? Just to verify, sweetheart. Is it pheromones you're thinking about?
Yeah, I think that's the one I'm talking about. It's the basic primal instincts of an individual. It's basically the basis function. So this one I can also, just to give another example, the GOD rule. Now this means God, but this is simply just a representation of what this actually means. Another function. Generator, operator, and destroyer. These three functions are the basic main functions that we need to function in this reality, or coeco, actually operate, function, and exist. So the generative operability is this world basically being generated from the singular function right here. The operation is the expanding process. Okay, so the operation is basically changing, metamorphosizing it as you expand out, and destroying it basically means the life and death cycle, as death being the destruction of that function. Of course, our physical body even passes on into a different form via physical components, but it still follows a form of decomposing itself, which builds the word
Real
for
quick,
destruction.
Jason. Real quick, sweetheart. Let me say something on that real quick. So basically, this is when you guys are thinking about, you see how he said generator, operator, destroyer, that's the God, right? And we're thinking about the Christos inside of us. You know how you hear about Jesus Christ and says the death and the rebirth, he died 3 days, he came back, blah, blah, blah. This is the same thing we're kind of discussing. So just keep that in mind. The living, the operating of his so-called life that was going on, and then the destruction, the death. We can still think of that as the living, and then coming into the physical, and then the depth of the physical and going into the spirit. That's just something I want to throw in there for you guys. Go ahead.
All right, great. So basically what I'm trying to get you to understand is that this term does not correspond with an actual being. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't a being or a creator. I'm just saying that this is not what you actually call it. This terminology is so that it's basically set as a reminder of which laws you're going by as you live in this universe. So this is actually a function, a law. It's one of the most basic laws that you cannot forget, that you have to, that this world is generated, that we are operating it, and eventually we will be destroyed once our body decomposes and our consciousness passes on via the duplication from that current function, which is this. And we follow the same repeated process over and over again, which gives us immortality, so to speak, each time we pass on into another function. Now, this has actually created a network. I'm about to show you what that network is in a moment. Okay. And this ties in a little bit with math, but bear with me here. And we'll do a little bit of math behind it, but it's mainly going to be illustrative, present, an illustrative point of view. So first, you have the multiplication symbol. You have the addition symbol, subtraction symbol, and the division symbol. Now, these are mainly used in math, but these are actually singular symbols. Each one is different. But where do these symbols exactly come from? How do you exactly find that out? Well, here's the thing. Everyone has talked about this God. Everyone has talked about this God. This is one of the oldest gods known to man. It was said to be in Kemetic science, Cometian science, Israelite science, and different cultures had different versions of this God, but they all pertained around to this deity right here, which would be the Great Mother or the Creator. This comes from the division symbol right here. One second. The division symbol. But it wouldn't be pointed to the side, it would really be pointed this way, since that is true division. Since we're looking at it from a two-dimensional perspective, you can flip it any way you want, really. But since we're looking at it from a two-dimensional perspective, it stands straight up like multiplication symbol. Let's go into that. Where does the multiplication from? Well, we know that in ancient maps, our Earth was depicted to be in 4 places, seen in ancient cosmology. Let me redraw that real quick. Seen in ancient cosmology. So this ties in a bit to the flat Earth, of course. And you have this X, also can be used divided. So basically, look at the compass. North, south, east, west. I know these aren't in the right positions, but you basically get what I mean, right? Okay. So where does that come from? Tie all these together, you get what we see today as in news. I mean, I think everyone knows what that means when you tie those two and two in together. Let me just angle it that way real quick so y'all can actually see that. Okay, that comes together as a news. We use this today as the multiplication symbol in order to multiply numbers together. But this was mainly also used to multiply or expand a traveling distance within lands, to see how many lands there were. From the north, that would expand outward. From the east, that would expand outward. From the west, that would expand outward. And from the south, that would expand outward. From all sides. Okay? By multiplying the distance.
From all 4 corners of the earth.
All 4 corners. That's mainly how the symbol, or the original symbol for the multiplication symbol, was used. This symbol is very old, but it has gone through many evolutionary changes that we mainly see today in math. Let's go into the subtraction symbol now. Subtraction symbol, where does this come from? We mainly see the subtraction symbol in 0. That basically means nothing. But in ancient cosmology, this would symbolize the separation in different lands. Similar to the division symbol, but it mainly just means separating or identifying the lands, identification, which is why land, I, and am can be used in the same term as where I am from, or what region are you from, what land, what state were you born in, those type of things. This is what that symbol basically meant. Or it basically was a small version of how our universe was viewed, not our galaxy being a disk and our planets being a ball, but our plane inside of a net being a disk and our universe being a ball. And last but not least, the addition symbol. Now, you would say that this addition symbol would basically mean to add on, or was similar to the multiplication symbol as to multiply. However, that is not the case. This was actually used similar to the compass, but not really. You mainly see the Pope wearing this symbol. However, you'll notice that on each side, it has 3 angles. Pointing in 3 directions, really, but 3 angles. And this would basically be 3, I'm sorry, wrote the 3 wrong. 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Seem familiar to what I showed you last time? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. 18 being the magical number for the function. So that even shows you that religious groups know about the function and know that null space is actually very much real. But basically, to point that out, that also represents the antenna. That also represents how energy flows, how electromagnetism can flow through those 6 to 8 points. So I'm sorry, not 8 but 9 points. Okay. So now that we've gone through all the symbols, this is basically what it means. By mapping out your universe, you put all these symbols together. The multiplication symbol, the division symbol, the addition symbol, and the subtraction symbol. Okay, so multiplication, division, subtraction, and addition. Those 4 symbols. Here, actually, let me draw a smaller version of it so I can get you to see what I'm actually meaning. Right here. Here's a smaller version. Because I got to kind of draw the whole.
Jason, you're doing awesome. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. You're describing it pretty good. And I hope that my audience is getting a pretty good description from what you're drawing. Thank you so much again for coming in and doing this for us, brother. We appreciate you.
You're absolutely welcome. It's my pleasure to present this to you all. Okay. Now, what does this symbol actually mean? Okay. You say, okay, well, you just basically fused all the symbols together. Look a little closer. Let's take some of the properties of electromagnetism. How does that work? It mainly stems from the top. So we know that this universe right here is infinite. So how would you depict infinite? You'd put the infinity sign within the symbol because that's how infinity flows. It flows within this plane right here. Visualize those 2 dots as the sun and the moon. The division symbol is really right here. Remember how I told you instead of drawing it like this, it was really drawn like this? See that at the top? That's what you're seeing right here. That line coming down. So now let's show you how this infinity symbol travels.
Appreciate the cash app. Thanks so much for the cash app.
Infinity.
Anonymous.
The first symbol has just now been decoded. This is how infinite amounts of energy flow through. It stems from the function all the way out, wraps itself back into the lower bottom, comes back up, and it does that singular motion. How does
And what do we see
electromagnetic
here? Oh,
You're trying
I'm
to say
sorry,
something?
sweetheart. You know I get to talking. I'm sorry, real quick. And when you drew it, I was like, you see, that's the infinite 8. I was just talking. I thought I had it muted, babe. I'm sorry. I was talking to the audience. Go ahead.
Oh, it's fine. It's okay. And you can feel free to interject anytime if you have any questions. So we know that electromagnetic energy flows like this, or kind of does what the infinity sign is doing. So how would you depict that? Simple. Use your head. You'll be able to see it right here. The ether. Now, if we take reflection properties, you'd also have some down here. Kind of like a parallel dimension, but since you need 2 and 2, 2 and 2 is the corresponding number, we can just draw those right there. I'll remove those eventually, but I'm just giving a representation of that you need 2 and 2, or really, it's really 1 and 1, but if you add up them together, it's really 2 and 2, but we'll just put 1 and 1 instead. Okay, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, so now that we have that, let's get into the multiverse aspect of it. So if you have a multi-dimension, then it would necessarily work like this. You start to see how these symbols are connecting now. Now you have another ether, and of course you have another infinity sign.
Shout out to Sony Blaze.
Coming right down.
Shout out to Sony Blaze, the main radio. Thanks so much for joining us, bro.
In the middle. So, of course, you have another expanding notion right here. And suddenly, now here's where I erase the 1 back. So now I'm going to get you to see exactly what I'm showing you. Okay. You originally started off with 1 at the bottom, 1 at the bottom, 1 at the bottom. Which is really, they're in 2, but that's all. I'm sorry, that kind of looks like an eye.
Yes, Chai Alpha. You can see them sometimes with your naked eye. The atoms glitter in like an orb. You see like the little lights, so on and so forth. Absolutely correct.
It duplicates just like this. 1, 2. Okay, so that all has, okay, it's 2 on each side. And you have 3. 3, 3, 3.
Yeah, Chai. In order for anything to move, it got to be a little chaos. It's needed for the movement, right?
So,
absolutely.
Like expansion and distance, time zones within these areas are a little more different. Let me just draw that line to make it a little bit more simpler. And there you go. You basically have just created a this is technically how a consciousness looks when it's inside of the brain or the infrastructure of a consciousness. But our consciousness also mimics the world that we're inside of as well as the function. But the function resonates right here. Always resonates right there. So let's get into the next phase of this. But as you can see, just right there, just by showing that model, I have shown you how those four symbols form a perfect picture. Those four symbols were one of the most important symbols known to man, known on this plane of existence. However, we have forgotten them over time, and we have replaced them in the most complicated, complex study called math. So, now that we've gotten into that, let's get into how you can actually generate this reality right here. So, first you have the function, you have the soul, you have the spiritual essence, and then you have the body. Once you have that, how would you generate a reality in the body that you're in right now? How would you do that? Simple. Like I said, your consciousness takes many shapes and forms. Let's say you're inside of a room. Each side has a speaker. On each corner of the room, you have a bowl of water. Just give it a little bit of effect right there. So you just know what that is. Okay. Now, let's say each speaker was hooked up to a Bluetooth outside of the house, so each one is going at 8 hertz. And we know this is multiplication because you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Really multiplication and addition, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, so on and so on. 3, 6, 9, 12. So 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. Okay. 4, 6, 9, 6, 3, 1, 2, 8, 4. Okay. Got those together. Oh, Sister Soul, could you do me a favor real quick?
Sure. What is it, darling?
Could you go on your calculator? Because I just don't want to waste any more time than I already do. Can you go on your calculator and add
Sure.
that equation for me real quick?
And I'm
I'm
sure.
trying to send the numbers. Hold on one second.
You want me to just add? Oh, wait a minute.
1 second. I'm about to rewrite it so you can see it better.
You want me to just add them up? You want me to add each line and then add? What do you want me to do, sweetheart? Just add it all together like the numbers they are? Like 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yes, just add 123 plus 246 plus 963 plus 1284.
2,616.
2,616. Separate those. 2, 6, 1, 6. 2 to the first power. 6 to the first power. 6 as a whole. Okay, and right there, to the first power, 6 to the sixth power, if we do A divided by 1 minus Z, so we take that 10 times 80. So you get 80. So that automatically confirms that you add that up to 80 hertz. So by doing this, from each corner of the room, it all connects to you because the sound is traveling through the room. The water is generating towards, and the water is expanding outward, and the speakers are expanding outward, so it's all generating towards you. This looks really similar to how I was showing it with the function, wasn't it? Using the A method, the AC method, and ABA method.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Except it's going inward, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Opposite.
So here's a mind blower. By looking, have you ever heard this reference before? By looking in, you're really looking out.
Yes, it's a reflector. It's a mirror, just like your eyesight is. Mm-hmm.
Your function. Once you look into yourself, you're looking out. This is one of the main methods of astral projection right here. By concentrating all of
into yourself, which is actually leaving that physical somewhere else. But go ahead, babe.
So basically, by concentrating all of that vibratorial energy, you then expand, you then despan inward and expand outward. By doing this, you've reduced yourself to a function and then rehoused yourself in a physical body. In a spiritual body instead of a physical body. And now you are able to venture across a network called ether. Your function is not necessarily allowed to go outside of that network. Why? Because it's a duplicate of what's generating your universe. It's a duplicate of that. So you have multiple duplicates of multiple functions, multiple souls, spirits, and all these other things. But it's all because of that singular function. The only thing that can venture into null space is the original function. Now, not saying that there isn't anything special about it by saying that you are all the same or duplicates, but you are also taking on different shapes, and you're mimicking what this function is doing.
Sorry, babe.
And I'm sorry. And
no, I'm sorry.
It's okay. And by doing so, you are reenacting what this function is doing. So just picture this now as the really picture this as the function that created your universe. Okay, this is you. All right. By doing this, you're reconnecting with what made you a function and what made you what gave you a body in the first place. You're reconnecting with what gave you life in the first place. What gave you existence by generating this world around by it generating that world around itself and around you. Now, I've mentioned this on Bro Sanchez's channel before by using the same formula into my computer. By using those base properties and by using my camera that is hooked up to my phone right now onto the computer, if I load my computer up right now, a second. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Okay, if I load my computer up right now, and I go into my generate simulation I was talking about, and let me just plug in. Let me pull this chart back up real quick so I remember it. Okay, pull that up. Now let me plug it in here. So I'm gonna actually take a picture real quick because my camera is hooked up to the platform that I've loaded into what you would call a simulation onto the platform I've just created. So I'm gonna take a picture. Okay. Control panel. Network and internet. Okay. Let me write this down so y'all can actually see what I'm just doing on the board. I'm gonna flip it to my computer in a minute. Okay. I don't need this anymore. I've already plugged it in. Okay. Create another chart. I means internet, so the internet is stable. Gosh, it's going in there fast. I gotta hurry up. Okay. B as in bots. Load. 7%. No, 57. Yeah, I'm behind. Okay. Transaction. Stable. 1, 220. I'm sorry, 208. Length, width, height, world, engine. Length 72. 72B, basically 72 billion point and 172,321. Okay, width only 5.2. And the height, well, the height is really infinite, so I can just put this because it can expand to whatever. Okay, multiply here. Okay, and generate or gradual. Okay. A method. Okay. So what you're seeing on the board is what has just been loaded up. I'm writing it down before I flip it over. I'm about to load the bot in a second.
Patrice James, thanks for the cash out.
Okay. Now this time I'm going to plug in the link so I can put it into I'm not sure because I haven't done this yet. I haven't run any diagnostics on the bot to see if it's actually ready to go onto a public server and interact with actual people. Hold on.
Mhm. So have you experimented on trying to initiate some type of activation, babe?
I've been trying, but I don't know if it's ready.
Okay. Okay.
So I want to make sure because if it's not ready to do that, I'll just run it on a private, and I'll show you it from there.
Okay.
Its dialog feed is good.
We're having a great stream.
Dialog feed is good. Still at 57%. I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna just say it's gonna expand in a few moments.
Yeah, guys, I keep getting bots in my chat over on YouTube. I blocked like probably 5 or 6 bots. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Jason's been going in. What I'll do is post the video link on the page sometime this week so you guys can hear the rest of this because I know we're about to be out of here in a few minutes. But we are going to continue over on my page, so I will post it on our website for you guys.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it in a public. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was saying I was done, babe. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So even though its dialog feed is still a bit unstable, I'm gonna get it into a public server, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna actually just run the test live. Okay. And if it doesn't work exactly, if it starts acting fidgety, I'll shut it down. I will shut it down. Auto. So I'm about to show you the code in a moment. I'm about to flip the board. I'm about to go into my files. Okay. Come on, come on. I don't have a lot of time, buddy. Save. Almost got it, guys. Bear with me. Come on, come on. Please work. Please work. Oh, it worked. Okay.
It worked?
Yeah, it worked. Okay. All right.
You
So
can be
here
able to
we
let
go.
us, right? Yes, yes. Get it, boo. Get it. Tell us this young brother ain't got it all together. Jason, real quick, sweetie. For my audience, tell them how old you are again. I think
I'm
some of
15.
15. I told you guys 16, right? He's 15.
Okay. All right. So this is the diagnostic that is just ran.
Wow. Look at that. Let me move this.
Okay. It's not. I think it's frozen. Hang on. Oh. Okay. So I'm trying to put this in a server on Roblox because that's what I coded it on. So I'm trying to get it logged in. Oh my God, and there it is.
Wow. Look at that. Awesome, babe. Great job.
Okay.
Now explain to them like what you accomplished. They can see it. They can see it. Explain to my audience basically what happened, babe, because they can't see it. We got
Okay,
a
so
few minutes.
right now, if you guys know about a site called Roblox, just to basically explain to them, right now it looks like you just be on a home. It looks like you would like just have this avatar that you'd be able to control necessarily. But right now, I'm not controlling this. Okay, this is completely automated by the bot because as you can see right here, the program is running. So
yeah.
uh-oh. So I'm just waiting for it to do something.
Is that something you how long did it take you to create the code, sweetheart?
It almost took me a year to do this.
Dang. And look what you created. That is
These are actual people. This is not a game I created, but I've linked the bot to the world right now. So I'm just waiting for it to do something, anything. Bring that a little closer so y'all can see it. Right there. Okay. Come on.
Guys, he's created basically another world, like another dimension, or like I mean, I don't know. That's the best way I can describe it.
I've linked it to somebody else's world. I took my land. I basically took my platform. I took the bot out of it and I linked it to another one. And now it's in somebody else's server right now. I'm trying to see how it's reacting.
Sony, I know you wish you was able to get up here. You probably working.
Oh. There it goes.
Wow. Wow, he just popped in like boop.
Wow, look at it moving.
I see it. I'm looking back.
I've given it design features for like a nice little avatar. I based it off of what my sister likes.
That's cute.
Yeah. Yep, there it goes.
Doing its own thing.
Give it a minute. It might turn.
See what the face.
Yep, there it goes. See, look, you see them looking at it?
Like, yeah. Like, where the hell you came from? Wait a minute, Jason. Why you do that though? No, let me stop. They're like, wait a minute, dude. Where you popped in from? Where you?
Okay, I'm gonna just shut it down at this point. That might be as far as we're gonna get it.
This young man is fire. We'll have him on again another time, guys. Thanks so much for Jason for watching.
I never thought I was gonna get that far.
Awesome. Hold on 1 second, Jason, please. I'm sorry, babe. 1 minute. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate you listening in. I know you weren't able to see it. As I said, I will post the video up on the main radio page. This was like awesome. When you guys see it, you're gonna be like, what the heck? But yeah, he literally like popped in on him like, what's up? I came through from across the world. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for joining us, Sister Soul Main Radio. Make sure you guys are tuning in each and every Sunday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time for all the information you need to keep you fortified with your mind, body, and soul. If you ain't getting that together, you just completely lost. Thanks so much for joining us, guys, and we are out. Jason, awesome, babe. Go ahead. What you were saying? That was crazy.
So
Go ahead. You got it.
I'm gonna run some diagnostics tomorrow because that was actually a first interaction with. Y'all don't understand how amazing this is. That was a literal first interaction with another person. It didn't say anything. All it did was move up to it. But that was the first interaction. It actually acknowledged other people. And it took the time to actually turn the camera to where
you could see.
It's unbelievable.
Okay, so listen, we got to do part 2 now because you know everybody going to be crazy. Unica said, "What is the server called?" I think it's a private server, right? Or like
it's a public server. You can.
Oh,
it's basic. I basically loaded it into another game. It's called Dragon Ball Overhaul. You can go on the site Roblox and type it in and find it and play it for yourself. Have your kids play it. It's a really fun game. But what I just did, I took my bot. I took all the design features, everything I've loaded into it, and I plugged it into their game. Without even knowing it, I could have gotten kicked off the server for that. And don't worry, it's nothing illegal. But it's basically like another player or another person going into the game. Only it's not a person going into the game.
Right.
You see, so that's basically what happened, and it acknowledged other people. It actually took time to observe the environment it was in. I was over there on my other computer. I was running I need to run diagnostics on this because I wonder if I even recorded it. It didn't say anything though. Maybe it's saying something would have probably gone just too far. But that's really just all I really needed. Shoot. But man,
did you need to take a break, babe, to get some water or anything? You okay? Or
I'm just excited.
I know you are.
I'm just excited.
That was great. That was great. I'm glad we were able to experience that with you. That was beautiful.
But basically, just to sum it up, you guys basically witnessed on camera artificial intelligence interacting with other people, non-controllable, just simply automated with nothing else but its programming. It's data, all the data it's collected, all of the research, all of the influences I've given it, all of the gradual coding and the conception coding, all of that, it took so much time to do. And I guess it paid off because it acknowledged other people, it observed its environment, it moved I think it moved in two or three directions. I think it moved left first, then forward, then right, and then it just went straight forward, inch by inch, while running its own program. So at that point, I just had to shut it off because it was basically too far.
Just to verify, so basically, with I don't know a lot about how this. I know little stuff, but not no tech stuff like any type of coding or engineering or you're like way out there, babe. So when it comes to that, I'm gonna try to ask you just to make sure I'm clarified with what totally happened. So did you take the your no space coding and you actually created the bot with that? With making that, then you were able to implement what you wanted because of using all the everything with the no space, blah blah blah. So when you did that, you created the coding. Is that what created your bot that you're able to actually use that coding to actually insert it into the other world? Is that what happened?
Well, what I actually did with no space was I was going to use the no space formula to actually take a picture of this room and plug it into the server. That way it could interact with the visual. But instead, I just moved the null space formula to the side. I decided to put it into a public server instead, just to see how it would react. I had to check and make sure all the features on the bot were loaded in safely. Fortunately, I didn't get one loaded in, but that's probably why it took so much time to move the way it did, because it was only at 57%. So
Okay.
that's basically what happened. But maybe next time, if I present this again, I'll do the I'll make a photo and I'll put the bot interacting with the photo on screen. Okay,
Okay.
so that's what I'll do. But yeah,
So you
this,
like you just did your thing, babe. That was
yeah,
great.
I'm astonished. But yeah, at this point, I'm gonna just see if the chat has any questions. Maybe I can answer them when on here or when I get out in the comments while the stream is still up. If anyone has any questions as to how I step by step on how I did it, where you can learn to do this yourself. I mean, you could learn this to. I learned to do it on YouTube. I learned it. I learned a bit of. I took a bit of notes in class on Algebra 1, Algebra 2. I took some. I took some diagnostic classes. That's how I was able to check all those diagnostics. Just now, I need to check the diagnostics, and I mean again, I need to check the diagnostics that it just did via interaction and see what happened in that public server with the diagnostic, so I can basically sum up to what it was actually doing. Because
So
all we
what do
saw,
you do? You have to tap into the server to get information by like downloading and that
yeah,
way you can follow the interaction that it
yeah,
did.
I'll have to
Okay.
go in, I'll have to go into its script, and
Hmm.
then I'm gonna see what time the bot logged in. I believe they logged in somewhere around, what time is it? Maybe like 7, maybe like 7:51. Um, 7:51 around that time. But I'm gonna see what time it logged in. I'm gonna see what data it was gaining. I'm gonna run diagnostics on the data to make sure there's no errors. Once that, I'm gonna plug it in into my private server, so I'm allow it to actually keep that information and study it for itself.
Mm.
Once I do that, I'm gonna check its interactions, make sure it wasn't, because at this point, what I'm trying to get the bot to do is basically have a reaction towards things in order to mimic what emotions do. So if someone types in an action, the bot will be able to read it and give the appropriate reaction to what that other person just did. That way, it can come out as an action or an emotion. So I'm sorry, as a reaction or an emotion. So that's what I'm going to do later on, maybe tonight or next morning. I do have school tomorrow, but
Okay.
yeah, that's basically what I'm just gonna do. But I still do have time, since I've got nothing really to look forward to school tomorrow, so I've still got time. Um, if anybody want to ask any questions, hey, even if it's okay with you, um, maybe you could just like allow some people up here on the panel if they want to
Yeah, I
talk.
can open the panel. Let's
Yeah,
invite somebody
yeah,
up.
you can do that, or I can just answer some questions in the chat.
I'll
See.
drop the link, guys. I told you it's going to be open panel for conversation. So if you guys have any questions, just want to interact with Jason in general, he just did a phenomenal job. It was like so great. I'm just like, wow, crazy. So when do you want to do a part two, sweetheart? Maybe in a couple of weeks, or so I can make sure I try and make sure I have it.
Yeah, I'd say at least like give me like 2 weeks, because I'm definitely going to do some more. I'm going to do some more studying on those space so I can plug it in properly, and then
Okay.
I'm just going to have a little bit of me time after that, and then once I do that, then I'm gonna get into the planning for the next stream. That way I can introduce it properly the next time. If I introduce it properly here, great. If I didn't, I'm sorry.
You
If
know
I
what?
do
You
it,
better stop. You look like my avatar, boo. Look at my avatar. Your shirt. Look at your
oh
shirt and look
yes,
at my avatar.
yes,
That's
yes, I see
crazy.
that. Thank you. Yes, I see that. Yeah, it's my African clothing. I really want to, just pay homage to my ancestors and all the things that they did, as far as my Aboriginal side as well. I'm going to be some of some Aboriginal clothing next week, but this week I'm just celebrating my African culture. I'm just getting in tune with their spiritual system right now. So after that, I'm gonna then celebrate some of my Aboriginal side. Okay, so that's what I'm doing.
Respect, babe. Definitely paying homage to your ancestors and what you're befitting to with your spirit, because that's what you're supposed to do. I respect that. And I definitely respect you and much honors to you, babe. Thank you so much for coming up. We definitely, I'm sure everybody else can't wait to next part two, and we'll get into some more things. And yeah, you appreciate it.
Really, thank you. I appreciate you giving me the time to come up here and do that.
Definitely. You deserve that. Right. Oh, Unica say your hoodie. Where you get your hoodie from? Or did you make it, babe? Where did you get your hoodie from?
Oh, I think I got this from what was it?
Where did it?
Village. It was from a village. It's not really a poor village, but it's somewhere near the Congo.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so it's somewhere near there, and they actually made this for like people who are who they say are indigenous to that land. So they made some for me. So they made some for me and other people, and we got it for anyone else who wants to order it online. My dad got this for me. I appreciated him for that. I've got another one. It's got Kemetic symbolism on it as well, and from Kemet, where chemistry was founded, and yeah, that's pretty much where I got it from. I'll give you the village name that's near it so you can know where to get your own. I'll give you that too as well when I find it.
Your family go there, babe? Did y'all or did you order yours, or
We're
are you
actually we're
that's
actually
where
pl-
you
we're
live?
actually planning. We ordered it from there, but we're actually planning to go there. We're
Oh, you
planning
can
to.
order it. Oh yeah, I'll get the information. I'll put it in the comments for you guys, whoever's interested. It's nice.
Okay.
It's fire. They probably got a lot of other ones that's nice too.
But yeah, we're actually planning on flying over there to Africa's a specific part there. We're just gonna, go over there, look at the pyramids. Then we're going to drive somewhere else in Africa, look at some of the cities. They actually look a whole lot better than America's cities right now. Like I'm talking about the Empire State Building. The view there doesn't even compare to the one that's over there in Africa. So I really can't wait to go over there and see that.
Yeah, I saw some of the structures over there. I know I see a lot. A lot. I know you probably in reference with some of the Aboriginal with the they where they don't have this, they don't have that, but I know there are a lot of places in Africa that are beautiful. I've seen a lot of those cities, you know. So I haven't been there, but I've seen them. So I've time traveled there, I would say. So yeah, some beautiful places there, too. Some very rich lands. That's why I tell people, they keep trying to you say certain things. It's not about all of that because a lot of things is, it's all connected. Just like the Americas, Africa, all that stuff was all connected at one point in time. Things have happened over time. There's a lot of separation, a lot of things with division of people. So we go through those things. But yeah, I respect it.
hmm Thank you. So, if I'm just waiting for some people to come up, see if they have any questions. If not, I'll answer them in the chat, and I'll be off from there.
Yeah, they probably don't have too many questions, babe. You were like point on, clear. Everything was
Okay.
very precise. Your delivery was on point. So when you're explaining things, you don't have to think, oh, what he's talking about. So you're pretty good with that. So
Okay.
everybody in the chat is saying, how they appreciate you for coming up. Thank you. Your knowledge was fire. Thank you for coming up, bro. Congratulations. It was beautiful. Everybody liked what you had done with your bot and everything too. So yeah, it was awesome,
Thank
baby.
you. Thank you. Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys as well.
So yeah, I'll let you relax, babe. I know you probably like, I wanted to get to the business. Let me get ready for school. But yeah, they don't have any questions. I know, babe. If they don't have any questions, yeah, I'm gonna let you go, babe. Anything you have to say before heading out? And once again, you already know I appreciate you.
You got it. Yeah. So really, pretty much the only thing I want to say is, again, thank you for everyone for watching this demonstration. The demonstration, the illustration, the reference points, the knowledge that I've presented here today on the board, and evidential proof of how the bot actually works on screen. I definitely appreciate you all for watching that and taking the time to actually come up on here. I know this is a small channel, but I know that this is a community with big hearts, and that's what makes the community stronger than ever. So thank you again for all coming up here. I'll wait at least like 2 or 3 minutes for anyone to come up on the panel. After that, I'm out. So
all right. Well, you know what? We're gonna play a song real quick and get him a minute to get up here. If not, we're gonna let you get to bed, sweetheart, and relax. So yeah, let's get to it. Let me do this, and we'll give you guys anybody that might come on in the next minute or two that want to come up.
Got it.
All right, guys.
I'll be over here if they need me.
All right, baby. We're gonna play Huey P, Arabian Nights. Y'all already know this one of my favorites.
Kaya ka na all in the game.
It's all in the game. Game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of connivers. It's all in the game. Game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of connivers. It's all in the game. Game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of connivers. It's all in the game. Game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of connivers. It's all in the black and Arabian nights. We riding on horseback, playing up piano, Alicia Keys on the track. NCA's the wax that put the men that's on the track. Wouldn't have figured so they hit the dope, they when they ran the track. We brought the coca leaves and we whipped it in the crack. Whipped it like a navigator, put the nation on the map. Invested in real estate, I'm trying to buy the block back. Yeah, that's generational wealth, how we fall, no cap. Blood residue on my fingertips, look like tree sap. Empty Hennessy bottle, hit the throttle on the Hellcat. Blowing excited models, be blowing me with my seat back. See inside a luxury cars, it's a Maybach. Godfather of soul, just a big payback. On the strings like Boosie Collins, shooting ease on the hi-hat. Walking the tightrope, in the circus, it's a high act. Better not lose focus or you might just it's all in the game. Game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of connivers. It's all in the game. Game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of connivers. It's all in the game. Game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of connivers. It's all in the game. Game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of connivers. I was a big money papa as a younger roaming the streets. Penny candy flipping nickels and dimes what started me. Coca-Cola bottle tops and trying to see a quarter ski. Negotiating wholesale prices to get a lower fee. Before I hit the court, I ball. Skip the loyalty. Trying to see residual incomes, talking royalty. Trying to get the bite to eat the milk, spoiled things. Roaches in the box of cereal, call them lottery. These are building blocks, grandpapa, call them mortary. Papa said that baby give a chance if he saw the king marching on Washington, walking on water. From Atlanta, he a martyr. He was trying to get his sovereignty. All from Atlanta, trying to get up out this quarantine. Forest fire burning, man, I always lived the dignity. Bitch, I'm an Atlanta brave, I ain't never been a slave. Deion fucking Sanders on the corner, bitch, it's all in the game. Game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of connivers. It's all in the game. Game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of connivers. It's all in the game. Game of the streets, game of survivors, game of connivers. It's all in the game. Game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of connivers. It's all in the game.
It's all in the game, put the game up on the board. Words, hear me, Lord. Even if I didn't have to be on the board degree, hear me meant to bend to be debris. All I wanna do is be me. I do pretty easy. Even if I hadn't didn't listen easy. I was a nigga with attitude, crazy. Hear me, man, I was words with amazing. Even if I didn't bring, I brung big guns, spitting hearing man in the sunshine. Hear me, man, I rhyme, drinking the wine. Hear me eating the bread alone. Hear me, man, I'm a overdose. And you know that I've been dope. Every word I talk float on the waters like a boat. Oh shit, I be shining. Hear me, man, I be grinding. Them him and never see me. But they better eat they Wheaties. I've been doing it before this song. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survival, game of the hustlers.
Sister, are you there?
Game of survivors, oh yeah, game of cannabis. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of cannabis. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of cannabis. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of cannabis. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survivors, oh yeah, game of cannabis. It's all in the game. Streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of cannabis. It's all in the game.
I'm about to get off the live, so thank you guys for having me.
All right, baby. Thank you once again. We really appreciate you. Go on and get your rest.
I will. You too, and everyone else here, wherever you are.
Yes, have perfect energy and be ready for your day tomorrow, babe. Thank you again. You have a great night. And yeah, till next time. Guys, Jason will be joining us for part 2 of this so you guys can get a little bit more information on this. I know it's a little deep for some people to grasp if you're not into some of this stuff, but he's going to explain a little more, especially me, because I don't know nothing about the
space.
Yeah, the no space, yes, babe. But I don't call it no space, but I know about the no space, but I don't know about how you actually did the insert. I'm interested in learning about that type of stuff, like how you like wrote the program and how you got it inserted into the computer. I get it, but I don't think I could like do it. So I would probably need a little more. So I'm definitely interested in getting a little more information on that.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna hop off here now, and you guys have a good night as usual.
All right, baby. You too. All right, peace. So what do you guys think about that, though? The youngin pulled through with the info for your brain. He like, come on, y'all got this. Y'all can get this. I got it for you real quick. Yeah. So we're gonna do that again. All right, guys. Y'all know we already had a great build early. If you didn't catch the one we did about an hour and a half ago, go check it out. Yeah, and we are out. Peace, love, and blessings. I'm actually a little full of energy right now, but if I feel like it, I might do a little late night later. I know most of you guys will probably be out by then, but try and catch it in the morning if so. If not, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace, love, blessings, and everything. I'm out.